and Canada. So, you know, we were by that time I'm totally lost. I don't know where we are. And they said, "Do you see the glow ahead of us?" And I said, "Yes, I do." "What is that?" And they said, "That's the entrance to Hollow Earth." I said, "Hollow Earth?" I said, "Wait a minute. We're taught in school that the Earth is solid and it has a molten core and all this. And now you're telling me it's hollow?" And they said, "Yes, it is hollow." And they said, "What you learn is a shame because it's all a lie." And I said, "Okay. How long are we going to be gone on this trip?" And he says, "You're going to be gone for 6 Earth months." And I said, 6 months? I'll be grounded for life. That was my thought, you know. And they said, "No, you won't be grounded for life." This says you'll be missed. Yes, but when you return, your body will be replenished, and all the childhood diseases or sicknesses that you were experiencing will be gone.
What sicknesses were you experiencing at the time?
Well, like the mumps, the measles, and stuff like this. But at the time, they said that your immune system is starting to break down and must be replenished.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons for the going for the trip.
So you didn't have the mumps and the measles and all this stuff at the same time at that moment?
No.
It's just that what they're telling you...
It was a fortification against it.
Okay.
And they fortified my body. They gave me a liquid to drink, which tasted like grape juice, but it's very sweet. And I drank it. And it tasted extremely well, and it energized my body as I drank it.
Were you ill when they picked you up?
No, I didn't think I was ill.
Okay.
They said that the immune system had started to deteriorate, and that they needed to reinforce it.
So you see the light ahead. What happened?
I see the light ahead, and we got closer and closer to it. And as we started to curve into it, I said, "That's a hole. That's a hole." And they said, "Yes, that's a hole." And so we went into the hole. We landed at a city inside, and they said, "Do you know where you are?" And I said, "No. I'm presuming inside Hollow Earth." And they said, "Yes, you are."
Tell me about the city.
The city was not like a city on the surface. The cities on the surface are skyscrapers, you know, big tall buildings and all this. And the inside, they're all the buildings are round. They don't have roofs on them, but they're round. And they're built in and around Mother Nature. They're not, you don't see any highways or sidewalks or anything like this. It's all round structures in and around nature.
With no roof.
With no roofs.
What were they made of?
It looked like a marble type substance, but yet I don't think it was marble. I think it was more like crystal.
So smooth?
It's very smooth.
Reflective?
Very reflective. And we landed, and of course I started walking around. And I met several different beings, people, and some of them announced that they were from the surface.
You mentioned the light going in.
Yes.
Did you look up once you landed?
Yes, and I saw a sun that never moved.
What color was it?
It was more between an orange and a yellow.
Could you feel the heat coming from it?
A heat, yeah, more like a soft heat. It wasn't harsh at all. It wasn't bright either. It was very easy on the eyes.
So is there any time of day on the surface that you'd say would be similar to that kind of a lighting effect?
Twilight, maybe.
Twilight?
Yeah. When the sun starts dropping down.
When you look up, can you see beyond this light and see surface on the other side?
As you look outward, you see the horizon rise like this instead of straight across. You actually see a curve upward.
Are there clouds?
No clouds.
Where does the water come from? Does it rain?
It mists from the sky, but it is not like a harsh rain like it is here. The clouds up here are very thick, and in essence, do they have? Sometimes they have a cloud once in a while, in the sky, but it's more of a very like a translucent, looking through it. Very, very not dense at all, very light, and the atmosphere was so exuberating, so refreshing, and pure. It was breathing air that just had no smell or taste or anything like it does up here. Up here around cities, you breathe the air and you breathe that smog and stuff. Nothing like that there, at all. It was just the purest smell, purest energy. When you breathe it, you're just energized totally.
Okay, so you met some people.
Yes, I did.
Someone from the surface.
I met one individual. It was a female. She was rather tall, but and I looked at her, and her face looked familiar, and I told her, "You look familiar," and she said, "I should be familiar. I'm Amelia Earhart."
What year was this? You were 12 years old. What year was this?
I'm 12 years old. Well, let me think back here. I was brought to the surface in '51. Let's see.
63, 64?
60, yeah, between 63, 64, somewhere in that range. Anybody got a calculator?
Okay.
It's in that range there somewhere. When me and my sister were brought to the surface, we were brought to the surface not as babies, but as toddlers.
We'll come back to that story.
Yeah.
About how that all started. Let's
Right.
finish this one. You met Amelia Earhart.
Amelia.
Do you know what year Flight 19 got lost?
It was back in 47 or 40, no, 45 or 47, I'm not quite sure
So his
exactly.
probably 1964.
Yeah.
Were they looking like some really old guys?
No. Very young.
So are you saying when you go into the Hollow Earth,
You don't age.
you don't age?
There is no age. It's not like, well, see, time is an illusion. Even up here, it's an illusion. But people still go by it. But it's really, down there, it's like, how do you explain it? Is everyone looks young. You know, they don't look old. You don't see people walking around with white hair and white beards. They're all very, very young looking.
Do you think you suppose it's because of the place itself, or is it because of the people?
I think it's because of a little bit of both. A little bit because of the place and because of the people. The place is indigenous to immortality or to longevity. Everything I saw down there was huge in size. I mean, even insects flying through the air were huge. They weren't small little insects. They were quite large.
So do the mosquitoes?
Dragonflies come flying by about 6 foot across. Didn't see any mosquitoes, no.
I was going to ask. Now, do the mosquitoes have feathers, and do they carry you away?
No. Mosquitoes with feathers? I don't think so, no.
Well, you know, there's that saying, the mosquitoes are so big down there that they'll carry you off. Anyhow.
No, okay.
Sounds good.
The creatures were large. The insects were large.
Anyhow.
No, okay.
Sounds good.
The creatures were large. The insects were large. The people were large. I looked up and I saw a flying pterodactyl. And of course, that just didn't register too well. And I said, "Wait, that's a pterodactyl." And they said, "Yes, it is." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I saw dinosaurs.
Which ones did you see?
Well, I saw the pterodactyl in the air, and I saw a T-Rex walk by. And of course, T-Rex is a vegetarian. It's not a flesh-eating animal.
Really, with all those teeth? Those
That's
sharp-
for ripping and tearing plants, not ripping and tearing flesh.
So, wouldn't they be wild? I mean, it seems kind of a dangerous
Well,
situation.
it's not dangerous at all. Everybody down